His 50 over 75 is 66.
Perfect. So here we go, going into the first game of the preseason here. This is Team RS versus Team Stoic Esports. So we have Sensei for Team RS and Baron Fell for Team Stoic. As we going into the first round, this is going to be best of ones, 4 best of one series. To determine the winner of these matches. Each player is being paired up by the home manager from the player pool that has submitted both days on the CEVO calendar matchmaking system there. This is, of course, Ice from L2SCTV, and I'm joined by Bynum from L2SCTV.
Yep. How's it going? We saw actually Lag Lover from RS during the Canadian Cup, and he did pretty well. He did place 8th, I think, overall. He could have done better, but he had to leave to go to Edmonton or something like that. So, anyways, let's introduce the 2 players. So we do have our purple Terran player spawning on the top right-hand side of Zelnaga Caverns, and on the bottom left-hand side, of course, we have Baron Fell. He is our yellow Protoss player.
Yeah, so we were just looking at the stats before. Ladder-wise, I think Baron, you were saying, has a little bit of a point lead, but Sensei has a better win ratio or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Baron Fell, lots more games played, 2,000 point rating. Sensei, only 1,400, but he has a 66% win ratio. Baron Fell is pretty close to 50.
Ah, cool. Yeah, so it should be pretty interesting. We'll see a lot of the players might be doing their games simultaneously, which is okay. We checked with the league guys, and we may see just maybe 1 or 2 matches tonight. And going forward, as this is just preseason, we're just kind of feeling out the rules and the league stats here. When we do get going into the regular season, the games will be best of 3 between the players, so we'll probably try to pick up 1 or 2 series going forwards in between any team that we are able to cover. These players, or these teams, are in the professional league, the CEVO-P, or professional league. The league is application only, so you must apply through a CEVO admin to actually obtain that. You can register and enter the CEVO league, however, for free in the open division. So CEVO does have both divisions, and they will be kind of, as seasons go on, we'll be moving teams around, and ideally the prize pool for the professional division will probably grow a little bit faster than the open divisions, but should be something to shoot for all of those guys that are just setting up teams and want to get some practice in kind of the league ladder systems, as both players getting an early scout, Sensei stealing some minerals from the Baron there, and Baron's just getting his cybernetics core started. Sensei getting his racks up and orbital started, just going to chase away the probe. He did realize that it didn't leave the base there, so he's going to scout that probe out, pin it into a corner, most likely be able to kill it with the Marine, or possibly not, with a really good shoot and scoot, but doesn't actually... Nope, probe doesn't leave, so probably will die here pretty shortly. There it goes. So just enough information to get the orbital command knowledge there early on. As we were mentioning with the CEVO League, this is just Season 1. The season is about 8 weeks long, I believe. So each team will play about 7 matchups, 1 a week. Basically, the matchups, again, are using kind of a first... This is a very unique league because it uses kind of a first-person shooter feel to it, where the teams will be issued home and away status, and basically the home team will get to see the roster of the away team a few days in advance and be able to set up the matchups themselves. So I believe in this match it is actually Team RS, so that's the purple Terran right now. Sensei is the home team, so they were able to pre-pick these matchups and the players and everything like that. So we'll see which future matchups we get. I haven't seen all the player matchups, as Proxy Stargate started for Baron, just at the northern part of his platform, but after he did repel that SCV, that Stargate down right away, so we will see either Phoenix or Voidbraid play here pretty shortly.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising here from Baronfell, because I would have expected that he would have gone for a little bit more of a standard build, because he has so much more experience and he's more comfortable with that. But Sensei, since he has so little games, the first thing that came to mind is that he has more of a creative approach to gaming, and he is going for builds that people don't really expect. He does have a lot of Marines out. He does have a total of 6 right now on his ramp, but of course, as you said, that Stargate is going to finish. Let's look at any sort of anti-air here for Sensei. No, he does have a starport on the way, however, but he doesn't have an engineering bay in case there were some sort of mass Void Ray that he would be very hard pressed to defend against. Is I think that Starport will probably be used for either a Raven or a Banshee, as we've seen lately, not only in the Canadian Cup but also in the GSL. A lot of players deciding to go for a early Raven, and it really helps against some Stalkers because of that point defense drone.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to start with a Void Ray there. He does have a huge, Sensei has a huge number of Marines out, and Stim halfway done, so that will allow him to, I believe, successfully repel any Void Ray harassment. So Baron's kind of going into this, going to be a little bit behind here. We'll see if he pairs the Void Ray up with the Stalkers and the Sentry that he's produced, and they're currently rallied in the middle, so we'll see. Once he sees the Marines, I'm sure he's going to actually probably pull back here as he is pushing forwards with the Stalker and that Sentry. Meanwhile, a Scout factory is being rallied through the southern part of the map there and making his way to the expansion of Baron. As this is kind of, as you mentioned, or we mentioned earlier, this is a best of one, so pretty much cheese strats might work here, as you can just kind of catch your opponent off guard once and then just take the game from there. As the army of Baron does reach the ramp. He will start a charge. Nope. Does require that Void Ray to see up there, as the Marines now going to push out of the base. Don't want to get pinned behind that wall. I believe the Void Ray, yes, can engage without the Marine or the bunkers actually shooting at it just yet. So he's going to take a few pot shots at that supply depot. Try to get it down. Ooh, pins off a couple Marines. They're going to get sniped there. So pretty good harassment so far from Baron. He does have that proxy pylon up behind his ramp, behind his work. He's building another proxy pylon right at the ramp of Sensei, as one of the supply depots did fall down. 3 racks for Sensei. He's got a Raven coming out. Not really going to help him deal with that Void Ray directly, as he does force a Stim. Sensei's going to have to kind of push out and use that Stim, as he is kind of getting blocked on the ramp there. Sentry does get a force field off, so he does pin the army across there. Sensei not able to back up, so he lost quite a few units in the front of that force field. As a second Void Ray does join in there. Raven's going to get to the front, but again, not going to be able to do too much, as it doesn't actually... Oh, one Void Ray falls to the bunker, but the Banshee not going to do too much, as most of Baron's units are all obviously anti-air, can shoot up. As a supply depot, second supply depot for Sensei does go down, but the bunker is still in pretty good position, as he has rallied a Raven, and is just kind of producing as many Marines and a Marauder as he can right now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised here about the play from Sensei. You know, he had 2 supply depots pretty much burned down. He didn't even bring 1 SCV to come repair it, but he is going to receive a little bit of a laser beamage from Baronfels. He's coming up here with the Void Ray and a lot of Stalkers here. Wow, I think it came down to micro here between these 2 players that he was doing a little bit better. And here we go, Sensei actually going to probably let that burn down. He isn't going to bring anything off the line to do that. He is building another bunker, however.
Oh, there you go.
To save. Oh, there we go. Finally comes off. He stops building the other bunker in order to save the other bunker. So
yeah, the use of the point defense drone there from Sensei, really great positioning, as it is defending that bunker almost entirely. The Stalker's not able to find an angle to engage, and those Marauders are just taking pot shots at them at this point.
Yeah,
Drone needs that energy now, though.
Yeah, that's something I like from Baronfels. He's not becoming over aggressive on anything. He's just trying to snipe out the occasional unit that pops out of the base of Sensei if Sensei's trying to push away Baronfel. Baronfel just letting his macro help him a lot, and building more Void Rays, building more Stalkers to reinforce those that have been lost. And you can see Sensei just trying to bunker up as best as he can, but as long as he's on one base, he's just going to be behind the whole game, because Baronfel does have his expansion completed there. He will be rallying some probes over there as they are being transferred from the main. And lots of fire now going down on the bunker. Bunker does go down with minimal losses really from Baronfel, because of the fact that he has that high ground site. He can establish such a large concave around the army of Sensei, while Sensei has to remain balled up like that. But Sensei, here we go, is pushing out here. I guess Baronfel taking that expansion has left him a little bit behind on his army count, so he will not be able to maintain this forward position, but he does do quite a little bit of damage. As we see in the units lost tab, it's pretty even for these 2 players, but actually, surprisingly to me, Baronfel a little bit behind by 250 resources, but he is ahead in tech, however, in terms of, well, he has those Void Rays out, but they are all dying and stuff like that, so I guess I can't really... I have to take everything with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, those Void Rays are going to be pretty much butter to the knife, the hot knife of the Marines. at the end of the
catch
day.
the Ravens kind of pushing ahead there, but yeah, you're totally right. The Marines just cut through Void Rays in mass like that. Baron's kind of losing his position as the Void Rays are kind of rallied in here to pull Sensei off his base. Sensei producing strictly just Banshee Saurians. He is going to push it to the front of Baron's base here. Baron reinforcing with some Zealots back there, kind of got his army batched up to the left of his Nexus. The Void Rays do kind of reach the bunker, or sorry, the barracks. Gonna get a charge here as they are gonna get met with a few Marines. One Void Ray goes down for that. No significant damage to the bunker as now basically the Banshees of Sensei are gonna go to work. Start picking around the outside here of Baron's base. Baron's been moved pretty much onto gateway units. He is supply blocked actually right now with the loss of that pylon. Sensei's going to get his rally back as they do push into the Nexus, the army of Sensei. Sensei's army significantly weakened here with Blastin, but great use of points defense drone to just neutralize the Stalker damage. So it is going to give him a few more shots at the probes. Try to reinforce here. Marines cutting into Baron when joined by the Ravens there. I'm sorry, in the Phoenix, it's going to do significant damage. Warping on the high ground from Baron, so he is going to be able to push us back and get a little bit of lag there. Baron is just going to be able to hold us, I believe, as he reaches the point defense drone. Buys a few more shots, but does lose the probes at his base there. Void Ray from Baron is just kind of parked off to the side, hasn't been able to do any other significant follow-up. It looks like Sensei is bringing in a huge truckload of SCVs, going to go up with this reinforced army here, and probably look just to close the game right here as Baron has stopped mining. Income's about even, actually, so Sensei quite a bit behind with his transfer of workers here to move him into the offensive. Just looking to close the door here as Baron is left with just Stalkers. I don't know if that Raven, it's gone now. Yeah, the Raven did fall, had enough, or had just got the point defense drone down before it did fall. Stargate still neutralized. Baron's just working off the 4 warp gates, and looks like Sensei is going to try to close the door here as he's pushing around to the expansion of Baron. If this expansion falls, not really too significant as he's not really mining from it other than the resource collected. Good split on Baron's army, good split on Sensei's army from Baron as he did pull them all the way around. SCVs are really choking now. The probes brought in from Baron, but out of position. They did not have any chance to reinforce. So Baron's going to take significant damage at his natural here. Going to lose the Nexus. The Stalkers do try to keep poking at it. Nexus does go down. The Marines are going to stim, try to chase away a few of the Stalkers. Remaining 4 Stalkers there on the low ground, 2 Zealots on the high ground, 4 Zealots now, or 2 Sentries, sorry, for Baron warping in. So Baron's going to try to contain here, I think, with these Sentries just in the meantime, as most of the SCVs are actually trapped inside here, but the Banshee's not letting the Sentries do any significant damage, and I think Baron's in a lot of troubles. He doesn't really have any army else other than the 4 Stalkers, but they are just going to get pummeled here by the Marauders and the Marines being chased away again as the SCVs and the Banshee reach the base, and Baron GG's out of that one.
Yeah, I think Baron Fell knows exactly what he did wrong. You know, he was doing well in the beginning of the game, but if he was focusing too much attention on his forward units, and I guess he doesn't have enough APM to manage his own